Thinking about joining Equity? Wondering if it's the right move for your career? Before you make the leap, let's break down exactly how to join, what to expect, and whether it's the right decision for you. Because trust me, there is a lot of confusion in this process, and I want you to go in with clarity. If this is our first time meeting, hi, I'm Ashley Espinosa. I am a musical theater career coach, an educator. I was a professor for almost a decade. I have an MFA in musical theater and a BM in musical theater. I've been in this industry my entire life and career in many, many various forms. And I spent a large portion of my career as a non-union working actress professionally all across the country and at sea. And this channel is all about helping you gain the confidence and clarity that you need so you can make the right decision for your career, whatever that means for you and however you define success. So if that sounds good to you, hit subscribe. I have new videos coming out every single week. If you're considering joining the union, let me know down in the comments below what is holding you back from joining right now. The first way that you can join Equity is through open access. Now, this is very new. It recently just happened a few years back, right after the pandemic. What this essentially means is that you have done work that has showcased you are a professional in this area of work as a musical theater or theater stage performer in some format. All you have to do is go online, fill out a simple questionnaire, and then they will get back to you whether you are approved or not. If you're then approved, then you can go ahead, fill out the paperwork to join the union and pay your $600 initiation fee that is due up front. And you can also pay the full price if you want to of what it costs to join the union, but most people just pay the initiation fee and then you have a couple of years to pay the remainder balance. After that is handled, then you will get your approval, you will get your member card, your member number, and you will be set to go to access the portal and to instantly have union membership, union benefits, pension, healthcare, when those weeks are available to you based on the amount of weeks that you work as a union member. And then you will also have access to the EPAs, the ECCs, the sign-up list, and all of the other benefits that come with being a union member. EMC is no longer a thing. That is what we have done since I have been in this industry, is you got a certain amount of weeks, and then when they rolled out open access, they completely canceled in 2023 the EMC program. So instead of being EMC, after you have worked professionally for at least a show, you can then apply with open access to get approved to be a member of the union. And open access is the easiest way to join the union because all you have to do is fill out a questionnaire, prove that you've at least done a couple of professional contracts, and you can join. So my tip to you is, if you feel like it's going to be time for you to join the union, then to go through the questionnaire. If you're ready to pay the initiation fee and you're ready to join the union and you know all the pros and cons, you've done your research. And I do have a full playlist on union versus non-union and equity, and I would highly recommend that you go watch that playlist. I'm constantly adding to it, this video included. I'll link it in the description box below so you can check out all of the information where I deep dive into all of the different topics of union versus non-union. The second way that you can join the union, which is generally the way that most of us have joined Equity up to this point in time, since I've been in this career for over 20 years, is to join when you get an offer for an Equity contract. Now, that doesn't mean at an Equity house, because so many of us came up through the industry working at Equity houses under non-union contracts. And that's a very big misconception as well. And I've got videos about all of that. I'll link it in the description box below about what that actually means. But not every Equity house is going to be all union. It's actually very much the opposite. The houses that I'm talking about that are all Equity, if you get a job, are Broadway National Tours, and then some regional theaters that will only typically hire union actors in their whole entire company for a show. And they will hire you and they will say this will require you to take a union contract. Just because you're going to an audition for an Equity show, like a summer season, doesn't mean they're going to be union when they hire you, even if you're non-union, because there will always be non-union contracts. So I just want you to be clear about that. After all of that happens and you get an offer for a Broadway national tour, or some contract that is upfront telling you this contract is going to be Equity, then you will join the union. You join the union just by getting a union contract. And I know that some people think this is a way that's like the farthest off because it's so hard to be seen at equity auditions right now, but it happens all the time. You just don't hear about it because so many of us are very private with the way that we get cast now and the way that we put out information now. Everything is slightly shifted. So if you book a Broadway National Tour contract, you're going to join the union because you have a union contract. That's when you will join equity. The third way that you can join the union is by joining via one of the sister unions of AEA. If you are a member of a performing arts sibling union like SAG-AFTRA, which is what a lot of folks jump from film and television into joining the theater union as well, then you can join from that sister membership from one of the 4 A's into Actors Equity. Now, there are a couple of rules and requirements that I want you to check out. One is you must be a member for at least 1 year. You must be in good standing with a zero balance of their parent union. You must have worked as a performer under the union's jurisdiction on a principal or under 5 contract or at least 3 days of extra background work. And you must have completed non-union theatrical work. So there are a few requirements for this one, but you can join if you are a member of one of our sister unions. And the instructions are right here on the Actors Equity website. To receive an application, you will need to request that your parent union send us a crossover letter stating that you meet the requirements above. So you would have to go down that path. It takes a little bit more time, but again, it's one of the easiest and the fastest ways for you to join as well. The same initiation fee will be required, which is $600, just like it was for open access. If you did used to in the past have a union membership for AEA, you can rejoin. There are a couple of logistics that I want you to just read about here on the website, and there's a whole document that you can dive into, but you can return if you were in good standing. And also they just have a note on here that members returning from a temporary withdrawal or suspended payment do not need to rejoin. So just a couple of things that you want to keep in mind if you take your card and then you drop it, which is another controversial topic that I'll leave to another video. After you join equity, there are a few things that I want you to keep in mind that do shift and change. Number one is that you can no longer do non-union work as an equity member on stage work. It has to be union work, a union contract. So it's just something to keep in mind too. Cruise ships are out of the jurisdiction of this element, but anything else that you do on land in the States here, you have to be union. So there are no non-union tours. There are no other non-union contracts that you can take at regional theater. You can't work even community theater. There are exceptions to these rules, but in general, if it's non-union, it's now out. The great part about joining the union is that you instantly get access to the EPAs and ECCs. Now, wait, I want you to keep in mind, and I did a video about this, I'll link it down in the description below, but just because you join the union doesn't instantly mean you get all of these audition opportunities. It's a mad rush, even now, to get seen for auditions. So if you want to check that out, again, I'll link it in the description box below, a video I did about all of this where you can dive in to see what the difference is going to be specifically with auditions. If you do work enough weeks as an equity member, you do get health and pension and all the wonderful things that we love being a union member if you get that amount and hit the threshold so that you can then start collecting on that and applying and getting your health care through the union. If you're having a little bit of trouble auditioning and you're going to these auditions, whether you're union or non-union, and you feel like what you're doing in the room isn't landing, you're not getting callbacks, you're not being passed on from that open initial audition. And the same thing with tapes. Filming yourself tapes, your audition cuts, and then sending them in and hearing like crickets or nothing, then I want you to download my audition book blueprint. I'm going to link it right in the description box below. It is totally free. It's a 20-page plus full guideline and breakdown with examples of what you should have in your book based upon the roles and the shows that you want to play, the stories that you want to tell. Because we don't need everything. We need exactly what is going to show us off in the room and give casting the lane that we're in and how we see ourselves in this industry. So download that. I hope it's going to be really beneficial and helpful for you. Now that we've had this conversation, I want you to go check out this video next that's going to back up and give you more information and clarity about this exact topic. I'll see you in that video. Cheers.